Hi everyone. It's that time of year again where we do the long service awards. I'm going to use some notes because I always use some notes because I talk a little bit longer during these. Usually these videos I just try and do them without notes. Sadly, we're not in a room together, but obviously you all understand why that is, and hopefully when we do this next year or in another 5 or 10 years for each individuals on this call, then we'll be back in the room. This last year has been incredibly pressured for every single one of you, and everything has changed for us. You've all done an incredibly remarkable job, but one of the things that it's absolutely reminded me of over the last year is just how important it is to have loyal staff. And what the Long Service Awards do for us is give us an opportunity to recognise that loyalty. But we do need you moving forward, and we not only need the skills and experience that all of you have in the room, but we also need you to help us to bring on the next generation. I know you're all doing that, but the NHS is such an important thing, and that's been reminded to all of us over the last year. It's been tough, but hopefully we've also felt more recognition for the NHS from the communities that we serve, and I'm sure you, the same as me, lots of people are more interested in what we're doing and how we're coping. And as you know, right now, whilst the COVID numbers have fallen down significantly, we're obviously still having to work in the way that we've worked to keep safe. We're recovering elective work. We're doing more cancer work because the missed referrals of last year are coming through, and urgent care seems to be incredibly busy. So to all of you who work in the community, in the hospitals, in the front line, in support services, just wanted to say on behalf of the board just how appreciative we are of you, how appreciative our communities are of you, and all the support that I often get through my inbox and in-tray every single day to confirm that. So it's great to get their support. I think also probably a lot of the support that we get from each other, because the NHS is a great team. And if you were all in the room together, you'd be getting into little huddles and talking about sometimes the good old days, sometimes the bad old days, about the way we used to do things. But the recognition and support that we get when we come in every day and we work together, and whatever we face, and if you look at the last year, what we faced in the last year means that we pretty much guarantee that we can face anything as an NHS with the team and the support that we've got. So I kind of look back, and one thing I do on this is kind of go back a few years. So in the room today, the virtual room, we've got 20-year celebrations, 25, 30 and 40. So well done to every single one of you. If we go back to the 20 years ones first, the year 2000 was, of course, the year when I was working then, and you joined then, and we were kind of thinking about how we were going to cope with the millennium. Everyone was worried about the clocks and the computers were going to fail us, and all the electrical equipment in the NHS was going to fail, and that was quite scary. But we coped. Again, under those circumstances, we did a lot of preparation work. The Millennium Dome opened that year. Dr. Shipman got his life sentence that year. The other thing, interestingly, in the June of that year, you will probably recall, the Millennium Bridge opened and then immediately closed because it wobbled too much, and I can't remember when it reopened after that. And the old Wembley Stadium closed. So I go back to that year 2000, a lot going on then. Go back for your 25-year service, people. 1995, as a Manchester United fan, I remember that one really, really well. Eric Cantona with his kung fu kick. Apparently that year, Damon Hill, racing driver, was banned for driving on the M40 to 165 miles an hour. Now, we've moved on from them because you couldn't get anywhere near that speed on the M40. Most of the time, no one's moving at all. The Brixton riots happened, and Mariah Carey was Christmas #1 with All I Want for Christmas Is You. 30 years ago, go back to 1990, poll tax riots. Later on that year, Maggie resigned. Inflation was at 9.4%. United won the FA Cup, so inflation was bad, but United were good. There was a heat wave, and we joined France, that Channel Tunnel coming together in the middle of the Channel, where the French and the English came together, a very rare occasion. And 40 years ago, so 1980, I was put 1983 here, but it's not 1983, it's 1980. 1983 was the year I joined, so I've done the 37 years in the NHS, and actually this year 15 years as Chief Exec of South Warwickshire. Robin Cousins got his gold at Lake Placid Olympics. The first episode of Yes Minister was filmed. Radio Caroline sank. For those of you who are slightly younger, you may not understand a radio station sinking, but it was on a ship. Notts Forest won the European Cup. That shows how long ago it was. The SAS stormed the Iranian embassy. Alfred Hitchcock died. Peter Sellers died. Steve Gerrard was born. Not a fair swap. So, just when you think back about those world events over those years, you just realise how long we've been working in the NHS. So before I finally finish this video, I just want to say a couple of things. Firstly, I'm sure you all miss the contact that we normally have with each other. I certainly miss being able to go out in all the wards and departments and services in the way that I used to, but hopefully we'll be able to do a bit more of that soon. But it's really important that we do follow the guidelines, and that's why this session's been virtual. The one thing I'd ask for you all, there's a horn going outside my office. The one thing I'd ask from you all is, could you please thank your families? Thank them for supporting you as a member of staff in the NHS in this trust, and for the things that they've had to give up in order to do that. And I appreciate that is quite significant for many families. They don't get to see you at times that they'd want to, particularly those who are working different shift patterns, but also the pressure that we've been under over the last year reflects in families, and they are incredibly supportive, and they help us also to keep the NHS running. So please do that, and hopefully I'll see you all again at one of these sessions very soon.